All right, we are going to continue with today's media availabilities. We're now joined by Ryan Preece, driver of the number 41 for Stewart Haas Racing. Ryan, seen you've been up here quite a bit the last few weeks. What's it been like being closer to home?
Yeah, obviously, being from New England, it's, whether you're from Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, you're a big sports fan, right? So when you love racing, you love your short track racing like Stafford, where everyone was the other night, or Thompson, or a lot of the tracks up in the Northeast. When New Hampshire comes in town with the Cup Series and NASCAR, it's a big thing. So being up here, seeing a lot of familiar faces, and for me, it's a place I grew up as a kid. So obviously, I get excited coming here. I have a lot of I don't know how to really put it into words, but just really love the passion for racing and everything up here with the modified. So excited for Sunday. We've definitely put a lot of emphasis into this weekend, and think we can be pretty fast.
Awesome. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. We'll start here with Dan, and then we'll go over to Holly.
Dick Elson, AP. How do you feel about being added to SRX next week?
Yeah, no, that was really unexpected. Really unexpected, and obviously, first off, everything that's going on up here in Vermont, and just, my thoughts and prayers are for all the families that are losing a lot right now. So, obviously, it's not under the best conditions, and I'm a huge fan of Thunder Road myself, but obviously excited for a great opportunity to race with those guys and have some fun at my home track, because I think many people in the short track racing world know I've come from Stafford Speedway. I've won championships, a lot of races there, and it's a great opportunity for the hometown fans to see a hometown guy go against them.
We'll go to Holly and then to Mark.
Over here. Hi, how are you? I just wondered if you could talk a little bit about what your comfort level is like at this track, and how much you either allow or don't allow yourself to think this is going to be the place where, you're still trying to secure the playoff bid, but if you could just talk about that.
Well, I think I just attack a weekend very similar to like LA, right? Quarter-mile racing is something I grew up cutting my teeth doing, and I'm very comfortable doing it. New Hampshire's a place that I've got a lot of laps on, a lot more than most tracks we go to, and I feel really comfortable here. It's that energy you have, that swagger you have when you walk into a racetrack that you feel comfortable at. So New Hampshire was definitely a track going into it. I know what I need as a race car driver to find victory lane here or run really well. And same thing at LA. I remember when we unloaded in practice, I'm like, yeah, this is the field we need. And we didn't qualify the best that day, but we drove from 16th to the lead. And if we have that same sort of field that I'm looking for here, we can get the job done.
We'll go to Mark.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Wasn't going to this territory till you just started talking that way. As you look at your season and as you try to improve your performances with your team, Martinsville, you guys drivers are always good at looking forward, but do you look back a little bit and go like, wow, we had a really good car, we had a real chance to win, and let it slip away and could cost us a playoff spot?
Yeah, every time I look at that pole flag, I think about it, right? But still got it. And at the end of the day, we led a lot of laps, checked a box. That was a good moment, but obviously a little bit of dark. Not exactly the way we wanted to end it, but going into it, I remember walking pit road and asking questions. So I felt like I did everything I needed to do. Unfortunately, we sped. Apparently, I can launch out of a pit box too well. And moving forward, I'll never make that mistake again. So. But like you said, us drivers, we move forward, we look forward. If you're going to constantly look behind at mistakes you made, you can use it as an opportunity to learn from them and don't make them again, and that's what I'm going to do.
How do you feel about your team's progress right now and where you sit as far as the points in your playoff situation?
Yeah, so from the middle of the month of May on, I felt like we've consistently made gains. We've been consistent. Last week in Atlanta, I thought we were going to have a really good run. We had a fast race car. We had a really good handling race car. So statistically, if you look at an end number, it can be frustrating sometimes for Chad, myself. But within the team, we know the gains we're making, and they'll be showing here in the second half of the season.
Is it frustrating that maybe for us, we're not seeing that, and you get questions like, what's going on?
No, because at the end of the day, all I got to worry about is my team within our group. I mean, you guys, people can look at it or kind of get frustrated, I guess, for themselves. But I know at the end of the day, when I walk out of that racetrack and I see progress, I'm happy.
Come down here to Nathan.
Nathan Solomon with a podium finish. Ryan, with 7 races left in the regular season, and obviously where you guys are in points right now, how do you balance some of those risks of going for a win and then also just having a good day?
Yeah, so when I look at these next 7 races, these are all tracks that fit into my wheelhouse. I kind of felt that the month of, really the 1.5 months, that spring run where you go to a lot of 1.5 miles, that was probably going to be our weaker point in the season. But when we got to the month of end of May, June, July, August, those are my strengths. New Hampshire's my strength. Next week at Pocono is a track I enjoy racing at. Richmond, that's another one that I enjoy racing at. Watkins Glen, Daytona, I love super speedway racing, and unfortunately, we've gotten wrecked there in the final few laps, but we've been in contention, we've been aggressive, and we've led laps. So these next final races to get into the playoffs is certainly something that I feel comfortable with, and every week's a new week.
We're gonna come right here in the middle.
And Terrell Covey, Northeast Sports News. You mentioned Stafford, and in all of you guys that get to this level have sort of your origin story. How important are things like when you hop into the modified, the SRX, these guys who are going to these tracks and doing these other events, how important are you guys as a bridge between these short tracks and where you're at now?
Yeah, for me, growing up that kid at Stafford, first off, I'll give you a little example for some of you guys. When I go to Stafford or a lot of my local short tracks where I come from home, I'm biased, but I see a lot of hardworking kids, and you don't see a lot of it as much as you'd like sometimes. So, I go in there and I know a lot of those families, and I see those guys mounting tires or cranking rounds and springs and, all that stuff. I get excited, and it's awesome to see. So, for me, a lot of the fans that go there, it's just, I don't know, it just puts a different type of energy in you, and I know they thrive off it too. So I'm excited to go there. I'm really excited to go to Stafford this week, and for me, it's been a fight because I've been putting so much focus into this Cup car and not racing the modified. This will probably be my first time and ever. I don't even know. I don't plan on racing a modified this year, which is weird, but obviously I want to win in this Cup Series, and I've sacrificed a lot growing up to get here, so just going to keep digging on that.
Are there any other questions for Ryan? All right, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend.